Hello, everyone. Amanda Williams, MD, MPH, here with you again today. And I was thinking about what I talked about the other day, which was mushroom extract and all of the many benefits that go along with mushroom extract beyond that of just the immune system and just how powerful those extracts can actually be. So, as I was thinking about what I was going to discuss today, I thought, well, I'm going to kind of stick with the mushrooms and I'm going to look at another formulation that we have that includes one of those powerful mushrooms, and that's cordyceps mushrooms. So, the product happens to be our black seed, and the black seed formulation, this is one of my favorites. This is certainly a big hit here in Florida because a lot of people deal with a lot of seasonal allergies, even though everyone seems to think that Florida has one season, but that's definitely not true. We do experience shifts in terms of different pollens that can be in the air, different grasses. For many people, it's the combination of those two, the tree pollens along with the grasses, that can kind of shift from month to month that can really create some havoc in your life. Now, this is definitely true in the Northeast and the Midwest where I'm originally from. So I remember every year, it like never failed me. At the start of the school year, I would get, as they used to call it, hay fever. And it would be the first week of school, which we used to always go back to school right after Labor Day. And I would have to take like a box of Kleenex with me to school because my eyes were running, my nose was running, I'm sneezing, had itchy ears, the whole thing. So now I know certainly a lot more about the immune system response and understand how to manage that. Ironically, I don't actually experience those issues down here in Florida. One would think a lot of pollens, maybe I would, but for whatever reason, thank gosh, I don't have that problem here in Florida. But for many people, they do. And I've talked to so many folks where it's just so annoying because they feel like they're constantly either running off to their doctor or they're running off to their local pharmacy and they're getting the over the counter things. And sometimes that dries you out and, you know, temporarily can fix something. But we really want to look at how we can help to support the immune system response on multiple fronts. So we go back to looking at the black seed extract. So, what is black seed? Well, black seed is cumin extract. So, cumin also goes by the name of Nigella sativa. So, we look at that family of things like turmeric or curcumin, and then we have cumin extract. Well, what we know about cumin is that it's very targeted towards those inflammatory cytokines. We look at the way in which inflammation drives up in the human body and that inflammatory response pathway. So we know that the cumin extract is very good at targeting that. So we're looking at things like the COX-1, COX-2 pathway, looking at the different interleukins and the different cytokines. Then we combine rosemary extract with this. So now we're thinking about kind of, you can think about cooking right now. So we have cumin, we have rosemary, and you think, well, how are these going to help me if I have issues with different pollens? Well, the rosemary extract and the rosmarinic acid, that's the actual active constituent within the rosemary that can be very beneficial. So the rosemary extract works to help to regulate the body's histamine response. So you have your mast cells, and the mast cells release histamine, which it serves its purpose, but sometimes we can have an over release of that histamine, which is why when people think about different seasonal allergies, you always think about it antihistamine. So you're trying to take these over the counter medications or maybe a prescription medication to target that histamine and reduce that release coming from the mast cells. So, what we know about rosemary extract and that power of rosmarinic acid is that it's really good at helping the body in terms of navigating that mast cell control of histamine release. So, we have our cumin extract, which is easing inflammation, which is really key because for those who do have chronic issues with all of the different pollens in the air. And sometimes you can get inflammation within the sinuses. So at one moment, you feel like your nose is running, the next moment, you feel like you're all stuffed up. So this is because of that inflammatory response. So what we do know is that the cumin can help to target that. So within the sinuses, within the airways, we know that the black seed's very, very beneficial when we talk about respiratory health because for some folks, it may be more respiratory induced. Certainly, I witness this all the time when I was living in Atlanta. And if you've never been to Atlanta during pollen season, definitely worth doing because my first year in Atlanta, and they had everyone warned me. They said, "Oh, just wait for pollen season." I'm like, "I'm from Michigan. How bad can it be?" And it was. So they actually it leaves tracks in the road because from your tires and it's just this yellow pollen on everything. And so when you recognize how much damage this can do, not only to say your car and your car's got all this yellow stuff all over it, but also you think about you're breathing all that in. So for many people, the respiratory aspects, when you think about the different pollens and grasses and things like that that you're exposed to, this is why the cumin's so beneficial because it's very, very nourishing to the respiratory bronchi and to the lungs themselves. So we're fending off oxidative stress, we're targeting issues with environmental exposures. So, always good to make sure that we are taking care of that. That's where your cumin comes into play. So, easing inflammation, then we're regulating our histamine via the rosemary, and then we go back to the mushroom extract. So, to that cordyceps. So, why would we think cordyceps would be beneficial? Well, we know all of these things now about mushrooms. We know that the power of mushrooms is so incredibly beneficial for the human body. And so, and now remember, it's certain mushroom extracts. Some mushrooms you definitely want to stay away from. But when we're looking at something like cordyceps mushroom, which can yield you some natural sources of other key vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, things like vitamin D, for example. Most people now recognize the importance of vitamin D when it comes to the immune system. So it's a combination of these three nutrients. And everyone that I know who has tried this particular formulation, the black seed with cordyceps and rosemary extract, they come back for more because it's a way to utilize different herbal extracts to help to support your body without having those concerns that can come with some of those over the counter medications, such as that drying effect or that drowsiness. That's another key thing. Sometimes people take these antihistamines, and the next thing you know, you just have no motivation to do anything because it makes you sleepy. So we know that that's not going to be the case when we're utilizing nutrients coming from nature. So, like I said, we kind of think about cooking rosemary and mushrooms and cumin. I mean, you pack all of these powerful little nutrients into a capsule and it's really, really beneficial for your overall immune system for a healthy inflammatory response. Definitely go and check it out. You can go to our website, invitehealth.com, and look for the black seed extract. If you want to know how much you should take, how often, then definitely reach out to one of our healthcare experts and they will help to navigate your way through that. We are here to help you help yourself. So always remember that. Take advantage of the fact that we have all of these wonderful experts available to you for all of your health related questions at Invite Health. And I will be back with you guys in a few days to talk about more wonderful nutrients. Enjoy your evening. Thank you so much.